Who
Oh,
cares? Penn State? I'm happy to start with Penn State. Dude, it is nuts.
like
Yeah. Um, I just I like to I love James Franklin as a coach. I just like to rag on the fact that he cannot win against top 25 teams. I think he's now 4-22. Nope, 4-21 with his latest loss of this last week. No, is that right? Yeah. Nope, nope, nope. I'm doing that wrong. No, I'm doing it.
I'm doing past you, but last week, 2 weeks ago is when they lost to Oregon. This
Yeah,
last week, they lost to UCLA.
yeah. So I think it's 4-21 is what it is. Updated, which AI is telling me through this last defeat. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
You're
So
saying versus top 10 opponents?
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm saying that was Oregon, or that was against Oregon. I'm saying they lost to UCLA on Saturday.
yeah, and I was including that, but maybe that's wrong. Who knows? So
Well, UCLA is not a top 10 team. UCLA hadn't held a
oh,
lead in a game.
you're right. Yeah,
Sorry.
UCLA acted like a top 10 team. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
they sure played like a top. I mean, Nico Iamaleava played like a top 10 quarterback. Like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah, it was like Tennessee's like, did we actually miss him? Maybe for one game, maybe not.
yeah. No,
Dude,
I had not seen his legs be like that in that dynamic. I don't know
yeah,
if
I
you
don't think
caught any of that
anybody had
game.
seen his legs like that.
I mean, I'd seen him scramble around a little bit at Tennessee, like here and there, but nothing quite like he was like making something out of nothing. I would have called him like, oh, he's a legitimate dual threat from what I saw. If I was to
Yeah,
watch that game and only that game of his college career.
yeah. You ran for what 100 and was it 63 yards or something like that?
128, three
120,
touchdowns
28.
on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pulling up all his stats real quick on rushing stats and seeing if he's ever run for anything remotely close.
Yeah,
So let me
yeah,
see.
go ahead.
Um, this year his high is 65 against Northwestern. Last year, yeah, a high of 65 against NC State.
With a long of
Yeah, like a long of 31.
yeah, so like half of it, yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's
that's nuts,
I don't know, just made me laugh. Maybe
dude. They it wasn't like I kind of I picked against Penn State, and I kind of expected this to be like you're traveling to the West Coast. It might be a little snoozy game,
kind
so
of a
it's gonna be a little
hangover
tighter
game,
than
yeah.
one. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and UCLA goes right down the field, takes it right down the field, boom, scores a touchdown, and then they catch him with that perfect offside kick, like where the Penn State player evacuates his area right away, and they're like, I don't know if they saw that on tape at one point in time, or if it's just very fortunate it goes right to the spot where the player wasn't paying attention, and there's not even a contest for that onside kick, and then game's pretty much in hand. Not 100%. I mean, Penn State comes back, but they answer every call, but it's just like I already knew that they were going to cover once that happened. I'm like, all right, we're covering. Now what's going to happen?
Yeah. And I think that's something to be said for I know that they fired goodness, I'm forgetting the coach's name. Ugh. Forgetting the UCLA head coach that just was let
Foster.
go. Yes, thank you. Foster, Deshaun Foster. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to say Arian Foster. No, that's not right. But yeah, so they let him go a couple weeks ago. But this was, Jerry Neuheisel's first go around calling the plays.
Yeah. Didn't they? I heard that they called him as the OC like 3 days before this game.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
right?
because I think
That's
that
nuts.
Tino Sinceri got let go. Tough breaks for Mr. Sinceri, who had only been there since May or something like that.
Yeah.
At any rate, what I was getting at is like the formula for getting buy-in. I think as an interim coach is one being very aggressive, letting everyone know the game plan. Like, hey, if we score, we're gonna onside kick. I think that everyone gets motivated. Like, oh man, we can really be on our P's and Q's on that first drive. Might get the
Hmm.
ball back, and yeah, it worked out. They hung on. Penn State kind of woke up in the second half and figured things out. But
I like, and I can understand it from a defensive perspective from Penn State. Like, I mean, you haven't seen this UCLA team at all on tape, anything. So it's kind of like shot in the dark, and they kind of fixed themselves up in the second half. And they make it close, but the offense not coming to life is the same problem that they had against Oregon. Like, takes a little bit of time to get there. It's kind of been their problem anytime they're in a big game. They take a little bit of time to get started. So,
absolutely, absolutely.
dude,
I
I
don't know if I
mean,
had too much else to say about that. It was just like, oh, this is old college football, right? Like, go on the road to a world weary opponent and not be ready to play, and they've got a game plan for you, and then you're in the fight of your life.
so Penn State was ranked number 7 going into this game, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And now they're not in the top 25. That's rough. That's so rough.
I mean, that's what losing to this UCLA team will do for you, though. I mean, this
Yeah,
team
no, I saw some
quickly.
stats that said that UCLA's the type of efficiency and like numbers that the UCLA is putting up is like one of 5 teams that's like all-time worst in the last like 10 years, and the most wins that any of those teams had was 4, and most of them had 1 or 2. I think it was David Hale that put that out from ESPN. I'll have to go find that later on, but it was saying this team is not good.
Yeah, 33-point loss at home to Utah, a 7-point loss on the road at UNLV, a 25-point loss at home to New Mexico, and a 3-point loss on the road at Northwestern.
We're talking Northwestern. Yeah. That's funny. So, yeah. What happens with James Franklin? Because this was supposed to be their year. If it was ever going to happen, if you're Penn State, do you just say we're going to move on, or do you keep this guy? And like, you know what?
I can't remember if I said this on the pod or not. Maybe one of the solo episodes, perhaps, but maybe even not. But there was discussion around this online of like, hey, it could. I know that people are frustrated that he can't seem to kind of get over the hump. But someone said, but like the floor could be a lot worse. Penn State could do a lot worse than what James Franklin's doing. And
100%.
I don't disagree.
I agree.
But I also think, hey, but there probably is more upside to Penn State than what James Franklin has been able to unlock. So
we know that there's been more upside. Paterno, didn't he win some? Didn't he win some?
Yeah, multiple national championships,
like 82 and 86. Yeah,
and a few years ago, I think I got into some Penn State person's feelings because I asked that question online, and he doesn't even follow me, but must have been checking things. Like, yeah, it was like, hey, we're doing great, and I was like, that's excellent. Is your goal not to win national championships anymore? Because if it's not, you got the right guy. Like,
yeah, you can. Like,
you'll have compete. Great seasons. Yeah, you'll have a good win or two sprinkled in with 5 or 6 disappointing top 10 losses over the course of 4 or 5 years. But
yeah, you might win a Big 10 championship, and because I think Franklin's won 1.
Yeah, in 2016, I think.
Yeah,
and that's my point. Is like, if you, it's that whole no risk it, no biscuit sort of deal. If you don't roll the dice and say, you know what, we think that we can unlock a level higher, you maybe kind of stay at that threshold. You're kind of this generation's Virginia Tech. If you remember Virginia Tech from like 2001, I guess, well, even earlier before that, till 2010, 2015, they were always like right at the top of the ACC. Of course, they played in the national championship game against Florida State in 2000, but like always right there and just not quite getting over the hump.
Yeah,
and actually competing nationally and bringing home the whole thing. And now Penn State feels like they've taken that mantle. Like, and I like I said, I think there's a good argument to be made that, hey, we could probably try this with someone else that maybe is a little bit more of a dynamic play caller or more of an X's and O's person, and put the recruiters around. Because James Franklin's an excellent head coach recruiter, right? Like, that's been kind of his calling card. But I think with the way that college football works now, where it's like, hey, the relationships are important, but the dollars are important too. I don't know if recruiting is the primary thing I'm looking for in my head coach. I think that's what I want on my staff.
Yes, I agree with you. It's not. the number one thing.
My head coach, I think I want an X's and O's person, and also someone who can kind of manage the whole organization, right? That
Yeah.
knows the X's and O's. Maybe it isn't always in the details, but push comes to shove, he can jump into the meeting room with his area of expertise, whether it's the offensive side of the ball or defensive side of the ball, and provide some insight there. And then your ace.
And I wanted to be stellar at that. Like, I want a Kalen DeBoer. I want to, I'd say Mike Norvell to some degree, but like, I want somebody that, or Sarkisian. I want somebody that's good in the X and O's. I would say Mike Norvell is good in the X and O's. I say Mike Norvell's problem is
good in the X's and O's.
Most of the time is recruiting.
I would want him to be a better like manager.
But like, I want
things. What I would say.
Who? I lost you for a second. Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
Sorry, I think there was a little bit of a delay there. I was just agreeing with your thought that Norvell, from the X's and O's point, yes. From like managing the whole program and yeah, maybe not quite the perfect emphasis amongst his staff on recruiting would be.
Yes, agreed.
But yeah, I don't know. I would say if I'm Penn State, I'm probably, I don't know what his contract's like. I would just very strongly consider before extending, before giving any raise. I feel like he doesn't.
Who did you go get though?
You know, I don't know if you. Yeah, like I said, I'm not firing. I'm saying like I'm not giving him any extensions or raises at this point. Like no, we're gonna have to see it. I don't know what his contract situation is, so like.
Yeah.
Part of me is like I don't want to speculate, but like again, if money's no object and you could get rid of him, who would I go get? I don't know. Let me think about that one. I'll have an answer next week.
Yeah, let's see. Contract details of Penn State fires the coach. Here's what you need to know about his buyout's $50 million. His contract runs through 2031. There we go. So.
Okay. So no more extensions.
Yeah, I think I just go. Yeah, show me an OC that's good. Show me I think their DCs are fine, but show me an OC that can get where you need to go. And for heaven's sake, go get a wide receiver. Like, please go get a wide receiver.
For the last 10 years, I think Penn State fans have been begging for that.
So, I mean, you have a great running tandem. If you had just somebody that was a threat off of play action, good heavens! Like, can you imagine just Jeremiah Smith on that team? Like, how much he would open up that team? It'd be unreal. So
yeah, he would unlock some things for them for sure. All right.
Anyways,
do we want to go from one catastrophic disappointment this year to another?
Sure, let's go.
We're going to Gainesville, right?
Yeah, we already both know that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I caught most of this game, and number one was like, oh, good. DJ Lagway actually looks healthy-ish. So.
And he looked good. He looked sharp.
Yeah, so that was good. I saw it like a couple different times, like throwing from different arm angles, which I was like, still a little worried about that shoulder. It looked good. So who knows? Maybe it was just the right amount of rest.
And the right amount of reps. I mean, he's had a few games to break it in, a few times to get used to opponents, versus like he didn't have it the whole fall essentially, or even much of much of the offseason. Yeah, so it's like
good point.
He's finally getting into rhythm. To be honest, like he looked like DJ Lagway at the end of last year, where everybody was like, "Oh, this kid's gonna be good." He looked like himself. Freaking Dallas Wilson went off, and
that's a revelation. Ooh.
Oh, dude, that's not a revelation if you paid attention to Florida football at all. Like,
well, it was a revelation to me. I have not paid too much attention to Florida
football. Dude, they were touting him in spring game, and he went off earlier in this year in one of the other games. But that kid is good. But they did start another true freshman at wide receiver too. So like, the thing that I've always kind of like find interesting is 2 years ago it was like, oh, we're starting off freshmen and sophomores, so like wait a few years. And then it was like last year we're like, oh, we're starting off freshmen and sophomores, wait a few years. And this year we're like, we're starting freshmen and sophomores again. And I was like, when's it gonna pay the dividends?
Yeah,
but it was the kind of same thing.
When are those freshmen and sophomores going to be juniors and seniors that continue to improve?
Yeah, but I mean they were able to run the ball not great, but consistently enough to make it a threat. Their defensive line wreaked a little bit of havoc on Texas, and this is a Florida team that's I know people are bashing on because they're 1-3, but they're a good team. I expect this, like, if you put this team in the ACC, I'd put it in the upper tier of the ACC. If you put it in the Big 12, I'd say they'd be in competition in like top 3-4 teams.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And so, like, it's just a matter of their schedule of where they've ended up and the fact that they fluke lost to USF. Let's be real. They didn't play that very well. They'll have another test of a running quarterback against A&M, depending on how much they decide to run Marcel Reed. But like with Arch standing back there and not really running the ball a ton, they were able to wreak havoc. He could not figure out where he was throwing the ball, and that gave time for the defense to get there. Problem.
Yeah. And the Texas of it all is like.
Here's the thing, though. Texas is. I mean, I don't think this is a bad loss. This is a Florida team that's a good team, and I get that they're 1-3, and but you were only expected to win by 6 points. It's not like it was you got blown out. You made it close towards the end. You kind of made it respectable. This Texas team still has an opportunity, I think, to get to the SEC championship. I mean, it's your first SEC game. You have to make sure you get through a hard schedule, but all's not lost. I mean, you lost to Ohio State. You probably make it to playoffs potentially if you go 9-3, 9-4, or 8-4. And
I think 8-4, you're done. Not with a loss to a 1-3 Florida team that lost to USF.
Let's see. If you go 8-4, you lose to two more teams. If you lost to Oklahoma and Georgia, but you beat Vandy and A&M, I could see potentially you still getting in. Depending on how the SEC shakes out, you'll be at like 11, 12 seed. But that's all you need to do is make it there. This team is interesting. I said about Sarkisian, I trusted him to make the right plays and make the right calls last year. This year, you put an Archie out there, and clearly he's not figuring things out. So whether it be psychological from I can't throw the ball, or psychological from I can't read a defense now, like this kid needs to stay in school another year. And I mean that I'm saying that with all my expertise of playing quarterback, zero, none.
Yeah, no, to me it's just like Texas really. I mean, they scored 21 points here, but I don't trust them to score on anyone. Do you?
Not consistently.
Yeah, that's my point. Is like I just feel like it's one of those things where I don't.
What I'm saying is, do I think this team makes it to the playoffs? Probably not. But would I be surprised if they do? Or is it impossible? No, I don't think it's impossible. I think this Oklahoma game will be a very big indicator of how it works out, because I think highly of Oklahoma's defense, and I think Oklahoma's defense against Texas offense versus Texas. Can Oklahoma's defense wreak enough havoc and keep their offense in this game? Essentially, is what's going to happen.
Yeah, especially I'm operating under the assumption that Mateer does not play.
Yeah, correct. That's what I'm as well.
Same. So yeah, I think the game for Oklahoma, and I know we're kind of jumping into preview, but they kind of get tied together, right? The game for Oklahoma is, hey, play great defense, ball control the offense. 13 points could win you the game.
Well, yeah, and like you had Kent State, and you only put 44 on Kent State, and that may sound like a jerk thing to say, but I mean, you're looking at who Kent State's played. Florida State hung 66 on them. Buffalo put 31 on them. Texas Tech put 62 on them. Merrimack, we're not going to go there, right? But like you're on Buffalo offense ish. Like that's a little nerve wracking, I think. So, maybe this Texas Tennessee game bet the under. I don't know. Yeah, I gotta go look at that. What the under is?
What is it?
I'm trying to pull it up real quick. Oh, sorry, this Texas Oklahoma game. Let's see.
42.5. Oh yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, what 21-17 or something like that.
Now.
What do you expect that score to be? 21-17?
No, I think it's 17-13.
Okay. So then you got a lot of wiggle room.
Unless there's a defensive touchdown. That game was played.
I wouldn't put it past Oklahoma scoring.
Defensive touchdown, special team, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. But still, 42.5 feels feels high, given the new clock rules, the strength of these two defenses, and the ineptitude of at least one of the offenses. The other one is a little bit more dependent on which QB is playing.
But like,
at any rate,
but if you were to ask me who you think wins that game, I think I trust Oklahoma more than I trust Texas.
Yeah.
Because they'll play. They just are able to. Their defense is good. I mean, they've allowed 17 points. Granted, they played only a few decent teams, but like 17 points is the highest you've allowed in a game. That may be what you need to allow, and you can win that game pretty easily.
Yeah, and I trust Brent Venables to have his guys ready to play the physical brand of football that is going to be required to win that game. I go back to his second season. The first season that he was there, it was kind of open and shut, right? Like Texas was fully humming.
Yeah,
they had all the defections that went to Southern Cal and elsewhere. So that second season, I think everyone thought, myself included, that Texas was going to win that game handily, and they got manhandled by Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I think that the personnel from Oklahoma side's only gotten better. So, and I trust the preparation from Brent Venables' side, knowing that it's good on good in terms of like, okay, Sark is an offensive mind, Brent Venables is a defensive mind, but Sark might be a little bit a hand tied behind his back because his quarterback is not playing well at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, you can scheme up really good open throws, but if he can't see them and cannot make the throws,
yeah,
you're done. And so that's where it's like, okay, the good on good favors, I think, Oklahoma.
I agree.
And then
but I
like,
do
you
think
just have to score enough and then give your defense a lead to protect.
Yeah, I think if you go though Texas's defense versus Oklahoma's offense, I think Texas's defense is having that type of
right.
little bit. So it's like good on good is better, but your worse on worse is the other side. So
yeah, I mean, I would say like the difference, like I don't even know how to like best quantify. I would just say the advantage when Oklahoma's on defense for the Oklahoma defense versus Texas's offense, I think is more significant and is a bigger difference than Oklahoma's offense versus Texas defense. But I agree, both defenses have the upper hand.
Yeah.
You watch, it's going to be like a giant shootout. It's going to be like 63-59 or something like that.
That'll be awesome.
Well, it was entertaining. It wasn't what I thought it would be.
FYI, you can't use that word shootout about that game anymore.
Oh, I'm using shootout. No one's stopping me. I just saw another game that I need to take.
It's the Red River Rivalry.
What did they call they Showdown at one point? They tried Showdown. Yeah. That one didn't stick.
Nope. I honestly feel like it should be I get it. It's a shootout though. It's like it's a ode to the West. So like, why do we care about it? It's not like a modern day shootout. Anyways, yeah. So we're talking about random games and stuff like that, but Texas is going to be an issue and whatever else and be a problem. Other games this week, you and I both went to the BYU West Virginia game. That was fun.
Let's talk about that one. I thought we were gonna go. I thought we were gonna go here. I was
no, we're not touching that one. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
BYU. That was a fun game. Never felt like it was in doubt.
Yeah. That crowd was very relaxed.
Yeah, it was a weird.
It only got loud like 3 or 4 times. I think everyone was just like, "All right, we know we're gonna beat this team," and with some. I feel like they maybe tightened up just a little bit. This game tightened up being like they're a little bit. To this point, BYU's been a little sloppy with like drops and penalties. Had a little bit of that this game. I think it was a little bit better this game than
turnovers though.
The previous game. That's true. That's true. But yeah, I just feel like they're a decent team who hasn't met the meat of their schedule, and they're about to. So
yeah, they haven't played anybody that's done anything. Like if you look at their schedule, it's like I think the teams that they've beat have a combined total of like 9 wins. So
yeah, you played a bad Stanford team, Portland State.
Yeah, Colorado.
Good. Colorado's the only one that's I think done anything. They hung pretty tough with TCU like that.
Colorado's 2-3. East Carolina's 2-2. No, that's when it was. I'm trying to figure out what they are now. I don't know what they are off the top of my head now. But like these teams have not won games, so
yeah. So, but that will change in pretty rapid fashion here.
I feel like their schedule is getting pretty rough, and
they're this middle four is pretty gnarly.
yeah, was it Arizona,
You're at
Utah,
Arizona, which
Texas Tech?
ask any Pac-12 team going to the desert in the evening, not
Yeah,
easy to do. Yeah, home versus Utah, at
Ames
Texas
at
Tech.
Iowa State.
At Iowa State, bye week at Texas Tech. So those 4
Yikes.
games will tell you everything you need to know about BYU.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you face TCU and Cincinnati, which I think I saw someone that favored Cincinnati to win 6 games in the Big 12. So
could happen. Hard to argue that at this point. Anyway.
You want to jump to the Florida State game?
Yeah, let's do it. Miami's a really good team. Florida State's okay. Lines of scrimmage were absolutely tilted in favor of the Hurricanes. My very brief preview, I think I kind of nailed that part where it's like, hey, Florida State's going to struggle to run the football, and if they get behind, it's a problem. Miami will possess the ball. They got everything they wanted. Malachi Tony's a really fun player to watch. I wish he was wearing a different colored jersey. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say other than they got whooped, and I'm sad that it wasn't more competitive. I know that they put a good amount of lipstick on the pig in the fourth quarter. That, to me, I don't put a lot of stock in that.
And see, I will, like, if you had converted any of those onside kicks, which you had 3 of them, then I would have been like, you have a chance. But those onside kicks look terrible and, like, awful. But, like, I was hoping that we were going to have another Mario breakdown. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it's like, is it going to happen? One thing that was surprising is Florida State fans didn't leave the entire game. Like, the fans didn't leave, and the game, the team didn't give up. So it's like, all right, you played okay. But yeah, this team beat you on play action and tunnel screens on third down when you blitzed a little too hard and they break one off. Like, I think the 2 touchdowns in the third quarter for them were both third down, fourth down. FSU tries to crowd the line because they think they're going to lose the line battle, and they just get beat 1-on-1 or on a screen, and it's gone. And then they already kind of set themselves in trouble because they turned the ball over a few times in the first half. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you turned the ball over 3 times.
Play. Someone said to me, like, this is just the textbook way into, like, losing all the goodwill you got from the Alabama game in, like, 9 days. Like, lose to Virginia, lose to Miami. And
I think Virginia's a good team. I think we're seeing that. A good team for an ACC team.
Yeah, but I just, to me, it's like the expectations that you win that game, and then that you're really, again, like I said, I don't put a whole lot of stock in the games.
So was that your expectation? Because I think I picked them to win, but I was worried about the line in there. And, like, when Florida State beat Bama, we both, I think, said that we thought this was still a 4-loss team.
Yeah.
And right now, that's what you're on track for. 4-loss team would mean you had to drop one to a member of the ACC. And then you have to lose to Clemson and you lose to Florida, which I think is probably likely.
Yeah, I don't disagree. To me, it's the lack of competitive. Like, you weren't competitive in this game against Miami. Like, again, I'm dismissing that fourth quarter. Like, Miami put it in.
Yeah, they did.
So that to me is like you weren't really in this game. They kicked your ass. Like, that's kind of the long and short of it for me. So, like, that, I look at that final score and I kind of dismiss everything that Florida State did outside that first drive. So as far as points go. So that to me is like, okay, lose in embarrassing fashion to your arch rival or one of your arch rivals. Lose a disappointing game on the road where you were favored by more than a touchdown.
And to me, I wouldn't call that embarrassing. I would have said that was a fine, like, whatever else. In this game, I don't think it's like you say you got your butt kicked. I don't think you got your butt kicked. I feel like it's like you were out of the game and you made an attempt to get into the game. But it could have been 28-3.
Give them as much credit as you get for fighting back. Like, hey, you fought back.
No, you didn't. You said the fourth quarter, I don't care. So you didn't give them that credit, and so that's fine. You don't have to do that.
Well, I'm saying, like, hold on. I'm saying I don't count those points because, like, yeah, you fought back, but was Miami really fighting? They were pretty keen to let you get yards and let you run like, they're like, hey, we'll make tackles, you'll bleed the clock, and that's exactly what.
But they also didn't play. Their offense wasn't very good in that fourth quarter. They could have completed, or they could have actually been somewhat aggressive and put that game away, and they decided not to do that. And that's, to me, that's the problem with your team. You don't get credit for being stupid, and it happens in a lot of games. People come back on you for being stupid. I mean, Mario Criswell's done it a million times. So, like that. Then that's what I'm saying. Like it didn't happen, but heaven forbid if Florida State had gotten one of those onside kicks, the one that bounced off the player and then right to another Miami player. That's a problem. You're screwing yourself over in this game.
Yeah, to me those are separate though, right? Like one is
No.
like, okay, what?
To me, they're not separate, but I get that. You want to separate them? Go ahead.
Oh, all right, that's fine. Yeah, I just like that. That's really disappointing. You're 0-2 in ACC play,
and you're not making it to Charlotte, right? We both agreed to that.
No, not a chance.
Okay.
Not a chance. Not with 2 losses. I think there's. If you look at the standings, like Virginia, Duke, Georgia Tech, Miami, I don't even know how many of them play each other.
No, you can end up with.
There are multiple 8-0s in the conference.
Yeah, there's a chance, but that's not going to happen, right?
Yeah, it's unlikely, but yeah, Miami doesn't play Georgia Tech.
But I don't think Florida State wins out.
What?
In the ACC. I don't think Florida State wins out in the ACC even.
No, okay. I don't think so either. I mean, Pitt just, maybe this one game is flash in the pan. They switched the quarterback up and they just blasted Boston College. So maybe more on that from me later.
Okay.
But yeah, at Clemson, I don't trust him to do that one. At NC State, absolutely not. Like there's probably at least one more ACC loss, maybe 2. Yeah, so not good. Gotta get that short up. Sorry if we looking at the time here. What other games did you want to tackle?
Oh, let's see. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, I can give just like a couple of tidbits. Washington, I didn't think they would pull it out on the road. I almost made that like one of my picks for them to like not cover the spread. Should have, but they stole a game. You want to talk about like that one? They were down 17. What was the score? Down 20-0, I think. And all in the fourth quarter, basically in the fourth quarter. I think they kicked a field goal right at the end of the third. Down 20-0. They kicked a field goal. Yeah, with a little less than 4 minutes left in the third, and then 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to come back and beat Maryland. So, just an exciting one for the Huskies, going all the way across the country after a tough game, losing to Ohio State. Give them the credit for get fighting all the way back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that one to me is a little bit different in that they like. That one just was a little bit different because their defense kind of woke up, stopped the bleeding in the second half. Offense finally got going. But so yeah, just wanted to tip my cap to the Huskies. That's a tough way to go from a hard fought game against the number 1 team in the country, travel all the way across country, face some adversity, but keep fighting back. Bama, Vanderbilt, I feel like just the turnovers for Vandy were backbreakers.
Yeah, I did not get eyes on that game, but I honestly did not expect Vandy to. I know people thought that Vandy would win or have a chance. I didn't expect Vandy to be in that game very much, to be honest. The other thing is freaking like quarterback practicing kneeling before the game, bro. Like you were pulling a Tommy Castellanos against the Alabama, and they were pissed off about that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that part was interesting, but like again, like sans those 2 turnovers, which I mean, of course they count, but like there are 2 turnovers in the red zone, and this game is very different. Especially with the first one, they had the chance to go up either 10-0 or 14, or excuse me. Sure, I'm getting this right. Yeah, they could have gone up either 10-0 or 14-0 without that fumble in the first quarter, and it just would have made things interesting. I think if that happens, I think that crowd gets a little antsy. You know, they could have one where they turned on. You know, that crowd could have turned on. I know that there's been lots of, particularly with the loss to FSU. Like, I don't know if you saw that some interview with this lady who like won the lottery or bought lottery tickets. They said, "What are you going to do if you win?" I think that's probably what it was. Like, what would you do if you won? Like, well, the first thing I do is like cut a $40 million check to buy out Kalen DeBoer. But I'm all that to say, like, I think the crowd could have turned on them. That could have soured. But credit to Bama. They threw the football pretty well.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson's looked quite good lately.
Yeah, he went through for 31.
Yeah, looked pretty sharp in that game too. Anything else? Any other games that we need to specifically call out?
Let me see what I've got. Oh, I'm going back. Okay. That Texas Tech team looks legit. I'll say that. Boise State flirted with Notre Dame for a little while, and finally Notre Dame put it away. And Virginia beat Louisville. So
I only saw the score of that. Like,
yeah, I didn't watch the game itself, but they were neck and neck the whole time.
Yeah, back and forth affair.
But
Louisville had the lead early. Virginia took the lead. And then, I didn't catch any of it, so I don't really have too much on it. But just that's an important one for Virginia to stay in that ACC race, which, hey, it's wide open. I don't see why not the Cavaliers, right? Or at least why not get there? Because they have at North Carolina, that's probably a win. At Cal might be a little challenging just because it's a really long road trip. At Duke, that'll be a tough game. Versus Wake Forest versus Virginia Tech, you'll be expected to win those games, but they're, it's the ACC. Who knows what's going to happen? But
yeah, and the other thing though is like good for you is to put wins on the board. Not only are they undefeated, but they have 3 wins in conference, and that's, I mean, most teams haven't played 3 games in conference, so
yeah.
you're there. So
right.
Anyway,
I don't think I have anything else from...
No.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So I don't have anything else either.
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll spin it forward to week 7, which is kind of depressing that we're that far through the football season already.
Not surprising.
I mean, we talked about Red River already. I don't know if you had anything more on that game.
I don't have anything else more on that game.
I'm excited for it more than anything else.
Yep.
It's still a dream of mine to go. I'm yet to want to go Texas State Fair, eat all the deep fried food, go watch a game.
It'll be fun.
Someday soon. Alabama goes on the road at Missouri after getting the taste of losing to Vanderbilt out of their mouth from last year. Now you have a rested Missouri. I don't know what to make of this game. I really don't. Like, I have not watched Missouri play a down of football yet. I don't think I've seen like maybe 2 or 3 highlights. I've not watched any of their games. Like, I did watch some of that Kansas game, but I'm struggling to remember it. Again, I'm tempted to take Alabama and them to cover, but like, I really don't know enough about Missouri to talk intelligently about that game, but I figure we should at least acknowledge that's one of the bigger games of the weekend.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know how Kalen DeBoer doesn't get this team ready to win this game. Bama has kind of put Florida State in the rearview mirror, and if they really want to continue doing what they're supposed to do, they're going to beat Missouri. I think those Bama fans that are freaking out over Kalen DeBoer don't understand what they really do have. Like, it's like you have a nugget of gold covered in a little bit of dirt, and once you finally rinse that thing off, you'll realize how much of a home run you hit with Kalen DeBoer.
I agree. I do think they're overreacting for sure. Like, it's to me, the first season is kind of like, hey, that you get a pass on that one, right? And the Florida State game is disappointing, of course, without doubt. But now you're sitting at what, 4-1, 5-1, 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1.
4-1, and they're playing really good ball. You just beat a really tough Vanderbilt team. Imagine hearing that like 15 years ago. Beat a really tough Vanderbilt team. But I think that's going to be something that's second year DeBoer is a real thing.
They're
going to be all right.
Second year DeBoer has never lost more than 1 game. Is that right?
That sounds right to me. Something like that.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's wild. Like maybe he lost more than 1 at Fresno, his second year at Fresno.
I'm pulling him up real quick.
Even then, I think they were like 10-2. I don't remember. I just remember like name.
Let's see. Oh yeah, Fresno. He goes 9-3. So at Sioux Falls it was 14-0. At Fresno it's 9-3. Washington's 14-1. Yep. After a first year at a school, the most losses he's ever had was at Fresno, and that was 3. Every other time it's not very many. Granted, it was Sioux Falls. Yeah. Sioux Falls is an NAIA level, right? But you did it at Fresno State, and then you did it at Washington. I think a lot of people are not familiar with his game because he did come from the West Coast.
Yeah, they haven't done the research.
And they're like, oh, you won at Washington because you had a great team, and you feel like who's the team that kind of popped out? Yeah, no, I was thinking there was a team. I'm thinking like TCU a few years back.
Oh,
it's like, you had one fluke thing and you're rolling this into the Alabama. No, there's a reason he's the Alabama head coach, and you're going to see it, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with for the next few years. And you'll miss Saban because he can't buy players like without everybody else buying players. That'll be the difference. But Kalen DeBoer is as good a coach as Saban is, in my opinion, and it won't reflect itself in the record because Saban had an advantage of having a bag man when most people didn't have as big a bag man, and he's not going to have that opportunity. So,
I like it. All right. What
other games this week? Oregon, Indiana.
As much as I want to think this will be interesting, I just
don't
see it.
That's what Vegas agrees with you, right? Vegas has Oregon over 7.5 point favorite.
I think it opened at like 9.5 or 10, so it's been bet down some.
Yeah, I'm seeing 7 now.
Like, I like Kurt Signetti. I think it's just gonna take some more time, and I think there might also just be a ceiling. Like there might be a governor on what he can do at Indiana, right?
Now, if this game was in Indiana, I'd feel differently. But traveling all the way across the continent, or the continent, I guess it's the continent, the country. Yeah. Like I see that being kind of rough and kind of difficult. Indiana, they haven't had to travel much this year so far. The farthest they've gone is Iowa. So, like, you've done one away game at Iowa. You squeaked that one out. Now you're going to a real place far away. Good luck.
Yeah. As much as I want that one to be competitive, I don't see it. So I'll be pleasantly surprised if it is. How do you feel about Georgia going into Auburn?
That line is like 3.5.
Something like that, yeah.
Someone needs to fix their numbers there, because that Auburn line sucks. Auburn offensive line is terrible, and yeah, there's no way that this game is gonna be this close.
Are you sure? I am feeling Auburn here. Like,
okay, go ahead.
They're not one of my picks, but I just think, oh man.
Nah, dude.
I
think this is a blowout waiting to happen.
This is more of a gut feeling type of thing. Like this is not like a. These are the kinds of games that Hugh Freeze always plays well in. Like always has his team ready to play. I mean, he's played Georgia close, I think, both years.
But you think you would have done that against A&M? Like A&M was a big game, and like they played it close, but they did like 16-10. But I mean, I don't think this is gonna be that Georgia. Like A&M's offense wasn't as good as Georgia's offense was, and I don't know. I just don't see this being close.
Yeah. Okay. I think that one's got trouble written all over it for Georgia.
You are right. Hugh Freeze plays big in big games. So
it's a late night game. It's like the primetime ABC game. Like that will be a rabid environment. I think this is one where he's looking to mount a head on the wall.
He's like, listen, we didn't they have a bye week last week too, or no?
That sounds right. I'm not sure of that, but
yeah, they had a bye week last week.
Yes, they were on a bye.
So
was Georgia also on a bye? No, Georgia beat.
Yeah. So we'll see. But
all right. The other primetime game, Michigan USC. I think it's a fascinating sort of clash of styles.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's like, does the game get played, kind of in that sort of.
Yeah, on whose terms?
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Okay, I was like, how do I even say? How do I articulate this? Exactly, the perfect way of saying that. On whose terms does the game get played? I don't like. Again, I don't necessarily have a feel for like how I think this one's going to play out. I just I feel like whoever wins the game, I don't see this being like a. I don't know. It just feels like a blowout, and maybe not blowout. It's not the right word, but a 10+ point victory for either team feels more likely than something played where it's like one of the teams needs a field goal at the very end to win it. Like,
Yeah.
does that make
I don't know.
sense? Like, I don't even know.
The line says it's really close and it favors USC, which is kind of even funnier. I get there at home, but like basically what the line says is on a neutral field. This is an even match, which I kind of feel like it is because you have a kickboxer and a wrestler going into into a fight, and
Yeah.
it's like, is it going to get taken to the mat or are they going to stand up the whole time? Like,
Dude. Oh, I love that analogy. Like, perfect. Yeah, I just don't know which one wins because whichever style wins out, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, that person dominated the fight. Like,
yeah, and
that's
it'll be
where
like,
that's where I'm trying to say. Like, all right, I see like a 10-point win
yeah,
for either side is more likely than like, oh, you know what, this one's like down to the wire, back and forth. USC's able to throw the ball all over the lot and be physical with gosh, what is their running back's name? He's able to like actually run the football pretty well. Gosh. Wayman Jordan, there it is. Couldn't remember the last name. I wanted to say Wayman was his first name. Yeah, Wayman Jordan, pretty good. But then you got Smash Mouth, Michigan. Are they hold up front? Do they force USC to be pass heavy, but they're also able to get a pass rush that affects Mike? Obviously, he's not able to throw as well to some of the wide receivers and tight end talent they have. I don't know. I don't know. I'm excited to see it. I'm looking forward to it, but I don't have a good pulse on.
yeah, this is the second best team that Michigan's played, right? They played Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's defense shut them down, and their offense was able to outscore them. I don't see USC's defense being able to shut down Michigan all that well, but
Agreed.
this game's going to be I don't know. I could see it being played in the 20s and being somewhat close, just because like USC is able to pass the ball well, but then when Michigan gets the ball, they just grind it all the way down, and so it like keeps it low.
So I
Scoring.
think I think the loser has about 20 to 24 points. I just think the winner probably has 31 to 35. Like,
Okay.
that's kind of where I see it. Like, yeah, I agree. I don't think either defense completely shuts down the opposing offense.
So yeah, it'll be a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
A clash of styles for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's other games that aren't like on the top of my like list, but I mean Utah playing Arizona State.
Huge. I love
Like,
that.
yeah, I'm excited to watch
so
that game.
I love the late game. I make no secret of that here. I'm actually thrilled that this one's the late game. It's like, oh, perfect. I feel like the last couple of weeks, I mean, that Cal Duke game.
Yeah.
Duke by the time they figured it out, like Duke just ran all over them. Like,
but at the same time, it's like it's Cal and Duke. Nobody really cares who's playing for third or fourth in the ACC. This one's like who's going to play for first or second in the Big 12.
That's true. I mean, the answer is me, because I'll hit you with a bold prediction now that hopefully we can revisit 3 or 4 years from now. But I think on that field for both Duke and Cal, you had 2 NFL quarterbacks, which is kind of wild thinking of those 2 programs. But
I mean, I believe it. Like we've seen them being super productive and super successful, and there's a reason, Duke chased off their quarterback last year to get Mensa. I was teasing my mom. I go, how funny is it that a quarterback with the last name of Mensa plays at Duke? It's just a funny little thing, genius.
I don't understand that.
Do you not know the Mensa Society, like the IQ, super high IQ? No.
No, sorry.
No.
I'm way too low IQ to know that.
I'm not there either. Like that's what the name of the genius community is. I don't know if it's spelled the exact same, but it's kind of funny that it is a guy starting for Duke.
I was like, what is this? Like, I'm dumb. Clearly, I'm not in it.
Like it is spelled differently, I think. Yeah, and Mensa is MENSA, but instead of the H. but it's like in order to be in that group, you have to have like the top 98% intelligence group or something like that. So, but I thought it's funny because it's Duke. Anyways, going on. Other games that are interesting to me. I like that Florida A&M game. I think that'll be a fun game to watch. I think who does Clemson play this week? Clemson plays Boston College. No, we're not worried about that game. Yeah, I think that's probably it. And then we have Ohio State and Illinois. Illinois, I don't like. They got punished by Indiana. They beat USC in a close game. They played Purdue close. Like this team is not a top 15 team. They are 17. Okay, whatever. I still think that I don't think that Illinois is a top 20 team. I think you beat Duke kind of in a little, not a fluke of a game, but Duke wasn't themselves.
Yeah, they just turned the ball over a million times.
Yeah, and so like I feel like this is the beginning of the end for Illinois, and their possibilities of sitting in the top 20. They're gonna lose to Ohio State, and then I think you'd lose one to Washington or Maryland, to be honest. But
yeah, those I'd say are the two tough ones. After that, I think it's pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, Rutgers and Northwestern.
Rutgers, Wisconsin, Northwestern. You're probably winning all three of those. So
yeah,
I think you probably have to play this game like your playoff hopes depend on it.
Yeah.
I think they probably do. Give me Illinois to cover, but Ohio State's going
to. Okay. Is that an official pick?
Not an official pick, just a little prediction here.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I did want to touch on a couple of others that I was scrolling through really quick.
Yeah.
I know that we have a couple of fan bases in our listenership that we like, that they specifically said, hey, can you just give me your thoughts on the game? So we did touch on Arizona State, Utah. The way I see this game playing out really is, it kind of boils down to a couple things to me. Like, number one, Arizona State, the offensive line's been sporadic. And I like.
Yeah, you've won games that you probably shouldn't have won, to be frank. I mean,
yeah,
you come back against TCU, you play Baylor tight, and then you lost to Mississippi State. And I think you should have won that Baylor game. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that one was really close. I think, to me, and I know this is probably, if I'm Arizona State, I have to establish Sam Leavitt's legs early and slow down Utah's pass rush. John Henry Daly is really good. He's, I think, far and away the best part of that defensive line for Utah. I think not far and away. That might be a little extreme, but I think he's their best player. He's played up to it. But if you can start to slow down that pass rush, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them run a little bit more. I mean, I haven't seen as much of Arizona State this year as I'd like to, but they are a team that, like, Kenny Dillingham's from that same group of coaches. He's from that Mike Norvell, Gus Malzahn, that same tree. So they like to run the football. I think it's going to be important to make some space for your running backs, for Sam Leavitt to also participate in the run game, in the traditional run game, right? So zone read, doing a couple of those, pulling a few of them, and I think that will loosen some things up. The nice thing is that Utah's offense hasn't been playing great, and so it's like I think you've got a puncher's chance. Again, we're still waiting on a second option in the wide receiving core for Arizona State to really establish themselves.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it boils down to. Sam Leavitt's going to have to play his best game, I think, of the year, and really open up some holes for the running game, and then hopefully that gives you enough space to fit some things into Jordan Tyson. But still waiting on really a second receiving option to show itself.
Yeah. I agree. I think this is Utah's game to lose, and I think Kenny Dillingham can scheme it open, and will make his coaching prowess will make this a closer game than it probably should be. But we'll see. Like, if you go talent for talent, I'm picking Utah every day, right? But if you're going for coaching ability, I'm going to take Arizona State.
Yeah. It's interesting that, and both teams got a bye heading into this week, so I don't know who that favors necessarily. I mean, maybe just from a health standpoint, it favors Utah because they were a little bit banged up.
Yeah.
They had some injuries. I don't know. Fascinating game. I love that, the late time slot has a game of maybe a little bit more national interest than the last few have. It's not
Uh,
no shade at Duke and Cal and BYU
yeah, no.
Colorado that we can
I
find.
agree. It's that's what I was saying earlier. I also have a weird take. It's like the Sun Devils. You should play that game, or you should make your guys' stadium just like dirt and dust. And then every time people roll in, it's just like, what the crap are we coming into? You know how it's blue turf over there? Instead of playing on grass, you just play on dirt.
I mean, this one is in Salt Lake though. But,
Oh, okay. But I'm saying it'd be interesting.
yeah, no. Stadium design. Should they do like all yellow turf?
No, they should just do dirt.
Just turf.
Like, you welcome to the desert. It is the desert, and good luck playing us in the desert. It'd be fun.
Goodness. Different terrains now coming into play.
Yeah, we got the hard courts, we got the grass courts, we got the clay courts from tennis.
All right.
We got turf, we got grass. Let's introduce dirt.
Fair enough. You're selling.
And then
at least
Miami can play in the sand and play beach.
There you go. Yeah, beach football.
Although the South Florida boys will struggle to run through that dirt a little bit, so maybe play in the muck because you got those muck boys down there.
Oh yeah, down in Pahokee.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. A couple other games I wanted to touch on. Rutgers, Washington, Friday night. Washington, tough game against Ohio State, like we mentioned. Had to fly all the way across country. Pulled it out in the fourth quarter. Now flying home to face a Rutgers team who has not had to travel for 2 weeks. They've had a bye. Washington's pass defense isn't what I would like it to be. I've got Rutgers covering this game, and this is an actual official pick.
Okay, there you go.
I don't think they win because it's a tough place to play. Friday night game, that's hard. But I like what they've been doing throwing the football. Ethan Kaliakmanis is good. I don't think Washington has a great pass rush, which even still, it probably will get pressure on him because Rutgers' offensive line has a few injuries and then also just isn't a stellar offensive line. But I think he keeps them in the game.
Okay.
I think that'll be a fun one on Friday nights if you have time.
I'll try and see if I can catch it.
I don't know if there's any others that I really wanted to take on. You want to go into picks?
Yeah, let's go to picks.
Okay. You want to go first? You want me to go first? I will say this for the record for everyone. I think I said it last week and I lied, but I will hold myself accountable. I will go back and actually tally up the true wins and losses for each of us. And disclosure, Cory sent me his picks before games started this last week.
Mm-hmm.
And he did quite well. So
yeah.
Do you want to take ownership of it? But I just wanted to vouch for you on that.
Yeah. No, I sent them to you Friday morning, so nothing included in any other games. But let's go. I had West Virginia plus 19.5 against BYU. We went to that game. Thank you for the last minute cover. We were sitting next to a West Virginia fan, and I was like rooting for West Virginia at the end. And then BYU decided to run it up the side, and I'm like, what are we doing? We're going to blow it. But it works out. So we got I think it was a last minute cover against West Virginia. Notre Dame, I had minus 21. That ends up being a push. They win by 21 in that game. I expected them to dominate that a little bit more than they did. UCLA plus 24.5. I thought the visit from Penn State was going to be rough. I thought it'd be closer than that. I'm not going to sit there and say I thought UCLA was going to win that game. But when I looked at the score in the first half, I was like, we're good there. I don't have to worry about them not covering. Virginia plus 6.5. I feel like that Virginia team is not given enough respect by Steve or Vegas, and they proved it by winning by 3. Michigan State 11.5 plus 11.5. They lost by 11, so they covered. I'll take that. Let's see. Oklahoma is the one that failed me here. I had them minus 45.5. They only put up 44. I'm kind of pissed off about that. But it is what it is. I have Miami minus 4.5. That was one game I literally said to my wife, I go, if FSU doesn't win this game, they better not cover. I'm going to be pissed if they come back and not cover on that game or cover on that game. So yeah, Miami, I got that one. And then South Florida, 27.5, minus 27.5. They flirted with it. and then they cover in the last minute as well for 20 to win by 28. So I think I go 6-1 and a push.
Excellent.
Yeah, 6-1 and a push.
I don't even remember. I didn't write down my picks that I gave out on the show last week, so I will be accountable to them next week and actually tally up the full season to this point. So
Yeah,
I think the only one I remember specifically giving out was that Miami -4.5. Yeah,
there you go.
that one to me was like taking candy from a baby. This week, I
Okay,
think the honors are yours with the stellar week you just had.
I say go
Well,
for it.
well
I'll let you go first.
Oh goodness. Okay. Well, I let you in on a little secret earlier that Rutgers plus 10.5 at Washington.
Okay.
They don't have to win the game. They just got to keep it within 10.
Yeah, I think that might be actually even. Let me check that. I think that line might have grown since then.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I can't find
you'll
it.
notice a theme here. Road underdogs this week. I don't expect many of them to win. I do expect a few of them to keep it closer than the experts think. But before we get into some of the other road underdogs, I'm going to go with a road favorite. Clemson -14 at Boston College. Yeah,
I have that one. I think it's a good pick.
I don't think Boston College is very good. Clemson is still kind of working out some kinks, but
You ran into the fighting Bill Belichick's last week.
yeah, it's a good get you right little stretch here, right? You beat Bill Belichick's squad. You kind of got to flex on someone, and all of a sudden BC gave up 49 points to Pitt. You got to feel okay about your chances to do better than that.
Exactly.
All right, on to my road underdogs that I feel have a good chance here. All right, and oddly enough, a fair amount of these are in the ACC. So Virginia Tech plus 14.5 at Georgia Tech. This is not that I really think they have a good chance at winning the game. It's more just the style that Georgia Tech plays and the style that Virginia Tech plays. Probably will be shorter possessions. I feel if Georgia Tech gets out to a lead, they might sort of pack it in and just try and shorten the game.
Yeah, I can see that. I think
I could see like a backdoor cover sort of a thing coming into play here too. So give me Virginia Tech plus 14.5.
I like that.
Utah State going to Hawaii.
The late night game.
The latest of games that
you are going to be up till 2 a.m. Mountain Time.
Yeah, probably. Well,
that game kicks off at like 10 o'clock our
time. We'll see if I can find a means to watch that game. I don't know if there's any sort of television option on it.
Let me see.
Yeah, I'm not seeing one, like the Mountain West Network or something like that. Yeah, I'm not seeing an option to it, but
the Mountain West mobile app. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if that requires a subscription or not, but who knows? Maybe someone will Twitch it or something. I don't know. Anyway,
you can listen to KSL on KSL Sports Zone, like online.
Listen to the radio
broadcast.
Yeah. Okay. I like football. I don't know if I love football that much. Listen to Utah State versus Hawaii at like midnight.
Oh, they fumbled the ball. Oh, they thrown in another interception. Oh.
Exactly. But I like Utah State to cover the 1.5. I think they go and win that game. Broncos boys will be ready. NC State going on the road at Notre Dame. One of the things we didn't talk about with that Notre Dame game was they won 28-7 against Boise State. And that was when Boise State threw 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
They only won by 21. I think NC State has a little bit more offensive firepower. I don't expect like a total meltdown of just like throwing the ball to the wrong team that many times. So as much as I'm nervous because NC State's defense isn't very good, I just trust their offense to stay within 3 touchdowns. Right?
The one thing I'm afraid of is like, I feel like Notre Dame had a bad game, and when Notre Dame has a bad game, they kind of roar back. It feels like that's the mentality. It's like, let's shut it, and that's partially why I'm like,
Fair. That's fair. And then finally, that Utah Texas under 42.5. Going with that one too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks for me this week.
Okay, sweet. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks for me. Let's start Clemson -14 at Boston College. I am agreeing with you on that. Pretty much the exact same reason. That Boston College team is not that good, and this is Clemson's chance to get right for themselves and put a little bit of bad taste from the beginning of the year out of their mouth. You mentioned something about FSU and Pitt, that 10.5.
I
With
forgot.
their, you want to
Yeah,
talk
did
about
I
that?
not? Yes, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, give me Pitt plus 10.5. Sorry, I forgot to write that one down. They don't have to win it. They just got to keep it within 10.
Yeah, and
They can do that.
I'm gonna take the otder side of that. I don't think Florida State. I think Florida State wants to stomp somebody in the mouth, and I think that's gonna happen. They're gonna take it out on Pitt. FSU minus 10.5. I think this is a 21-point victory. So
Okay, all right. Yeah, sorry, that was the other one. I was like, where's my other? Yeah, my
yeah,
ACC. Because I was like, I just found myself. I was looking through it. I was like, I'm favoring a lot of road. Not favoring, but I'm finding myself side with a lot of road underdogs in the ACC just to cover the spread, not to win.
yeah, and this one is this. Yeah, this is a road. Yeah, FSU's at home. Like this team has played well at home, so let's give me that. Give me Ole Miss minus 32.5 versus Washington State. North Texas hung 59 points on them. Ole Miss is going to do the same. I think they cover. It's a big number, but I think they still cover it.
It is. Here's the thing that so Washington State has started a new quarterback the last 2 games.
Yeah.
He's
That doesn't touch your defense.
That's true, but if you can hold on to the football, and they are a little bit of a ball control offense, right? So I just my fear is that they shorten the game a little bit,
and that's a valid fear, I think.
But yeah, that's one I looked at and initially was like, go for it, but then I was like, well, hold on, this guy are they still playing the guy that played against Washington? He's a decent player. I think he was like an All-American at the Division II level, something like that. Like played, I can't remember where. Played somewhere and played okay, and has looked pretty good so far in limited action, right? There's been some. I mean, he threw a couple of interceptions against Washington too. But I think one of those was like a tip pass, and I just think there's enough there that I wasn't feeling super confident.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, they started Zevi. I can't even say his name.
Eckhouse or something.
Yeah, Eckhouse. But my thing is you play in Colorado State, so like I'll put that into what it is. And my other thing is I kind of expect, even if they do a ball control offense, you have Ole Miss scoring in 2, 3, 4 plays a lot of time. It's like boom, 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 and exploding. So that hopefully will counter it. Give me Penn State minus 21.5. I think they're gonna get that nasty feeling out of their mouth, and they play Northwestern, so at home, like there's a good chance that they can cover that one. I feel like. Give me Maryland plus 7 versus Nebraska. It's at home. That Maryland team's good. Nebraska. Which Nebraska team are you going to get potentially? They've been about average for to me. Like they have the potential to be a good team, but they haven't shown it. And that Maryland team is kind of right there on that level. So I think that they can cover. You love watching that Washington quarterback. Give me UF plus 7.5 at A&M. I think that I would have felt more comfortable about this number at home, but I'm still going to pick them to keep this game close. I feel like UF's defense can muddy this up, and if DJ is able to build up on last week, he can cause some problems. Although Mike Elko is a hard one to go against, so we'll see. But I'm picking UF plus 7.5. My last pick is UGA minus 3.5 at Auburn. I told you I feel like this is like a gimme a little bit. I get your thought process because Hugh Freeze does come up in those games, but I feel like there are holes in that Auburn team that are too glaring to overcome, and so namely that offensive line. I feel like that offensive line is not good, so I think UGA runs roughshod over that team. So those are my picks.
I like it. Who am I to doubt the man who's 6-1-1 this last week?
Yeah. I've had a good week.
Yeah.
One.
Hey, that's better than I've had all season. So, no. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Anything else that you wanted to tackle before we bail here?
No, dude. I'm excited to see how these mega conferences get messy, and it's like you don't really know who's in it until you know who's in it at the end, and it's exciting to see who can kind of stay in it. Because if you can keep your boat afloat, then you got a chance. But if you can't, there's 4 other teams that can, and you're gonna have a hard time catching up. So
yeah, tiebreakers is the name of the game at some point here.
Yeah. I think one year we're going to call it the year of the tiebreaker, and it's going to be all these teams that happen to make it in because they won the tiebreakers, not because they were the best teams. So
Yeah, tragically.
And especially if we go up to 16 teams or something like that, like we need to stop. We're done. We need to be good.
18, right? Like, yeah,
I don't even know what they're talking about anymore.
yeah,
Too many is all I know it
hard
is.
to keep up with.
So
Well, all right. Well, for Cory, this is Steve, CFB Paint. Thanks for listening, everybody. It's so good to have you back, by the way. I feel like this was like already way more exciting than.
sorry I wasn't here last week. It was
No, not too
problems.
much. We get it. Like, you do what you gotta do, but just like I feel like, I feel like I'm more energized when I'm talking to someone versus me just doing it.
Yeah, you have somebody to tell them that they're wrong, which is always good.
They ran the football and they did good. Anyway,
They done good. They won the points. They scored more. Woo!
all right, cool, man. We'll see you.